What is up, everyone, and welcome. This is City Skylines. We're doing a little bit of a different format today. Today, what I'm going to show you guys, and I think I want to continue doing this format onwards, is I'll show you a speed build, pretty much, of what I did to the city. So, today I wanted to implement a railway system. This railway system would go around every district, or the major districts in the city, and sort of connect it all up a little bit. So this adds a form of pretty much public transport that will maybe and hopefully reduce traffic. So what I'm doing here is I'm building a nice track that goes across the road, and then building a rural station. Now these stations are very small. They're not meant to be big stations because the big main station will later get built somewhere else. So I add little parking lots, I add little areas, bushes, and a little bit of commercial. I kind of want to have sort of an idea of different places. So here I decided I was considering a bridge. I was considering building a bridge over it, and I thought that might look cool, you know. And then I realized it's going to make a lot of noise complaints. It'll actually cause noise pollution, so I decided to go for a tunnel instead. And then I'd bring the tunnel to the next stop, which is the stop near the mall. Again, didn't like the placement here. It was too close to the previous station that I built, so I decided to place it somewhere else and build it pretty much on the other side of the mall. So this makes it so that there's more access for the people who are living there as well. And so I decided to build the station there instead. Again, giving it water, adding some more parks to it. Here I decided to give the mall area some more space. I know it's a future project. It's because we don't have enough commercial to unlock a lot of the mall pieces. And here again, I'm going to just try and get that circle, or get the bend to be pretty accurate and makes more, hopefully make more sense. That's the idea, at least. So I connected up, and again, you can see everyone's really happy about this public transport system. And then I also unlock a new tile because we need more space. We're going to need a lot more space if we're going to actually build some train stations. Here we see me building one of the final stations, I think, for now. This is where we originally started. This is where the city originally began, and so this is an important station, of course, that needs to be connected to the main system. And I'm going to do the same bend here. I was just looking to get some more money, and it ended up looking really nice. I ended up really liking the way it sort of looked. The trains were all connected, and that was 3 stations so far. And I will go back into the main game and show you a bit more about naming the stations, which I thought was pretty interesting. I want to build a train station somewhere here, the big central station. However, I have created a line that has little stations that just connect up the districts, the bigger districts at least. So we got the Origin District. We'll probably name that the Origin District because it was the OG one. It's where we stayed. It was our hood, the original district. And then this will be original station, of course, because it you know, original. You can mark train stations accept or not accept. We do not want to accept intercity. I think this makes people very happy. We can check as well if it's actually doing anything. 261 people per week use the train, so it's working. It's becoming a thing that will work. So here we are again with a little bit of a fast pace speed build. We're gonna build this train to go to the other parts of the town as well, the city as well. So I had to go under the highway bridge that we built, and to go underneath it kind of needed more space. There's this little outline where these houses were placed. It was the end of the last bit of the city. I personally didn't like that placement anyway. It felt a bit off, so here is me destroying it and replacing it with a cool station. This station will take its place permanently, and I'm also changing the way the highway sort of connects up with this part of the town. So this is where we connect up the highway from the other part of the town and sort of bring it together and link the two places. Beforehand it was kind of awkwardly placed, and now it's got a nice bend to it, so it's fine. Here I try and get as close to the highway as possible with the train line, sort of make it connect or put together so it's not really in the way, and we're being very efficient with space. And I believe this is the last train station that I build in this episode. Here you see me planning for the future. but we can't go further because we haven't unlocked the space completely yet. So here I connect it up, and then add the water, of course, make it so that the facility runs. I add the final train stations, which makes everyone really, really happy, and then I go and do some more little details around the place. This is also where I decided to add parks on the other side. They were missing parks, so I felt like they needed a bit more, and to make the roads and clean them off a bit by sort of taking away the edges. Now this is, I think, the part where I decide to go a little bit crazy. I start doing foliage and trees. First, I remove all the trees from all the track, so I kind of get rid of it all. I don't like the forest being next to the train because it doesn't make sense. If you're building a train railway or whatever, you first get rid of all the trees surrounding it so it prevents interference and things like that. So we're gonna be realistic. But then I was missing green, so I did this very long ass lengthy process of bushing the side of the line and sort of placing down little bushes that go around the entire thing, and you'll see later in the video that that kind of really pays off. A painstaking task of placing little bushes across the lane or the railway to sort of spice it up a bit, I guess. Since I've been doing that, we've accumulated a ton of money, but not only that, now 927 people per week use our train system. That is insane. That is a large amount, which is good because it means that it's getting used and it's getting used properly. There's complaints for water here. Oh, that's not even okay. It's just a complaint considering that there is no water and there is no sewage. Okay, well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna ignore the cat who just jumped on my lap. We're gonna ignore her. And we're gonna build a newer sewage treatment plant. This one was tiny. This one only supported a few people. What I might want to do is turn this into garbage only. I'm not sure what I want to do that, but we're gonna build a new sewage plant. And we're gonna build it maybe far away, considering we don't want people next to sewage. This is so weird. I don't know why the trees here are like this, but it is a nice place for a sewage treatment plant. So, building the new sewage plant. I wanted to base this off of like realistic sewage treatment places. Wanted an entrance. That's sort of what this is like the community, sort of the reception area, where people sign in and all that stuff. And then add another facility. I was just double checking what they meant because a lot of them I was actually confused about what it was. And here I'm putting down the large container, I'd say like large pools that do a lot of the filtering, which I thought looks very cool. This is all a bit random. I personally haven't been to a sewage treatment place, and so I don't know what specifically they look like, but I think what I've done here is actually looks really cool and official as well. So I did the smaller circles on the inside and bigger circles on the outside. I think that looked really cool. I think if they added way too many of the bigger circles, I think it would have been too much. Here I sort of create like a natural border. I kind of wanted to have something that sort of closes off the facility. It kind of gives an idea of it actually being a facility. But then I added too many trees, and I felt like I needed to back that up with a forest behind it. So I'm going around with the brush here and sort of adding a lot of foliage. I had to connect it up, of course, with the power line, and then with the water pipes as well. And then I looked over the city, checking if everything still worked. Here we go back to the recycling area, or what is now the recycling area, and where I'm implementing more recycling centers and making this really the main recycling place. And so I also moved the smaller recycling piece. So now I'll show you the final sewage plant in the little cinematic bit that I like to do. Average health is very low. These people have a very low health care. Fire, very high in a lot of places. It's about 3. So maybe consider placing a fire department somewhere. And then last but not least, crime rate. Crime rate is good. I think crime rate's not too bad, to be honest. I hate this little open area, and I think what we could do is we can probably place a hospital right here. I think that'll boost this area quite a bit. And again, we'll place this here. Wow, and that is a lot of dinging noises. They are very happy with that hospital being there, which just means it's good, and hopefully that will help to the average healthcare in this area. But that does change the entire look. Before it was like a Soviet era with all these like blocky buildings, and now it's all looking very nice, which is good because that means up in the population, of course. And then there was fire. I think we can put a advanced fire department somewhere. You know what? That would be very. I think that would be cool here. We just these buildings aren't really that big. I assumed they would be much bigger than they really are. Okay, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. We've done some trains, we've done the fuel stuff, and we've done some little things like fire department and things like that. Next up is the central station, the big station that we're gonna have. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Thank you, and bye.